Hello, my good people out there in YouTube land. Welcome into another episode of World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore. I'm Great by 79 Productions, and as always, welcome in. So glad you could join me today. It's going to be a great episode. It's just a fantastic day here, and hopefully it's the same wherever you're located. In the last episode, we kind of did some zone hopping a little bit. We ended up going to Loch Modan for a little bit of time,
You need something?
and we did some quests there. We
Have a good one.
grouped up with a couple of folks, and inevitably what ended up happening towards the end of the last episode, and as a matter of fact it was the end of the previous episode, I caused somebody to die. So to catch you up, in Loch Modan there is a section where there is an ogre mound, and it is littered with ogres that are elite mobs. And I've explained what elite mobs are a while ago when we did that Vagash quest back in Dun Moreau. Elite mobs are much more difficult to kill specifically on your own. Usually you need like one or two other people to help you. It depends on what level you are and what level the mob is, but 9 times out of 10 you need someone to assist you with killing an elite mob. That's why whenever you go into dungeons, there's all elite mobs, so you need like 5 people to kill the mobs, essentially. So what happened was, I was grouping up with a couple of guys. I think it was like a priest and maybe a warrior, I think? I don't remember. But if you go back to the last episode, you'll see what classes those two were. First problem was that they didn't speak any English. They spoke Spanish. And I could tell they were in the same guild, and their guild name was in Spanish. See, that's the other thing too when you're playing WoW. You're gonna come across people who speak different languages, and you're not gonna know what they're saying. They're not gonna know what you're saying. It happens quite frequently. So, what happened was, we were trying to do this quest here, Chalk Soul, which is, I think it's a level 22 ogre, and he's pretty powerful, okay? So, we pulled too much, and then we decided to get the heck out of there and just run for it. Meanwhile, we had ogres chasing us. And what happened was, the priest ended up getting killed, while me and the other guy escaped. And I felt so bad. I thought that guy was going to be mad. So I know a little bit of Spanish, so I DM'd the guy and I said Lo siento, which means I'm sorry in Spanish. And it sounded like the guy wasn't mad. I don't think he was mad, at least. He actually was kind of laughing a little bit. I'm sure he's been through this multiple times. But as we say with hardcore, if you die, you go again. So I hope that guy made another character and is continuing on to this day. But I still can't help but feel terrible about getting somebody killed. Because usually what happens is, if you end up killing somebody, like a party member in hardcore, some people get so mad. Some people will get so mad. And they'll DM you right before you're ready to log out, and they'll just be swearing at you and saying, "Oh, you got me killed. We should have took it a little more easy. Blah, 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 blah." Yeah, a lot of people get so upset. And for good reason, too. If you work hard on a character in hardcore, and you somehow die, and if it's from pure stupidity, of course you're going to be upset. Of course you're going to be pissed off. And of course you're going to blame the other person for getting you killed. This kind of stuff happens all the time. So, luckily this guy wasn't like that. But even if he was mad, I wouldn't be able to understand a word he was saying because it was in Spanish. And I don't know that much Spanish. I know some, but not a lot. So that's why at the end of the previous episode I said I need a break. That's why I hearthed out of there, and I'm surprised that I didn't die. Because I had a couple brushes with death during the last episode. Dealing with trogs and dealing with the ogres. It's just too much. It's just too freaking much. Okay? And I didn't realize that my Hearthstone was set to Westfall still. It's still set to Westfall. Because again, we're zone hopping a little bit. Honestly, I should just make my home in Stormwind, if that's the case. That way I can easily bounce back between areas. I know that was a lot in, I don't know, a minute and a half of information, but hopefully it all makes sense. And hopefully you saw the last episode, so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, that's basically your recap about what happened. And speaking of Loch Modan, we're actually flying back there as we speak. Because I want to turn this quest in, the Trog quest, and then I would like to work on Filthy Paws. We gotta go locate a mine where some kobolds are, and they have stolen some gear, and we have to get it back. And then we might go back to Westfall and do the next part of the People's Militia quest, even though that quest is kind of dangerous. Because we have to kill pillagers and we have to kill looters. Pillagers, they're like mages, and they'll shoot fireballs at you, and they deal quite a bit of damage. So, you gotta be careful. And also, not for nothing, I do need to get some more training with spells and stuff like that. I'm not sure how far behind I am, but I do have quite a bit of money. I'm close to having gold in my inventory. The other thing we need to work on is we really need to work on our leatherworking, which we're getting there. We need to work on our cooking, kinda, sort of. And I'm sure our pet's gonna need some training as well. Hey, what? Oh, I was about to say. We gotta summon the pet. I was like, wait a minute, what? Oh, okay. Okay. So, for Filthy Paws, we want to go this way. Up here, as if we're heading towards wetlands. And we want to go right over here. There's some other quests here, too, in Loch Modan. There's some over here. There's a couple over there. And there's even some down here. But I'm not sure when or if we're going to get to those quests. I'd like to try to get to them if it'll help with our leveling situation, but if not, then that's not a big deal. Especially with hardcore, there's going to be a bunch of quests that you're most likely going to skip to begin with. And of course, along the way, we'll work on our skinning skill as well, which is at 105 right now. So we're doing pretty good with skinning. I wish I could say the same for leatherworking and cooking, but you know how that goes. I mean, how often are we going to be killing beasts in this game? God, we got so much leather in our bags, too. It's not even funny. Like, I mean, we have a lot of leather. We don't have a recipe for that requires bear meat, do we? I mean, we do have that. We do have that we do have a couple recipes here in our inventory, but which we can't use right now because we don't have enough skill. Oh, we can learn beer-based boar ribs. We can do that. We can learn that recipe. That's good. We have this one for Gortus liver pie, which we need 50, and then the Westfall stew is 75. I thought there was a recipe for, like, the Thelsamar blood sausages, but I guess there wasn't? Or maybe there was, maybe we sold it by accident. Anyway, the beer-based boar ribs, we need crag boar ribs, and we need Rhapsody malt. In order for that, we're going to have to farm, if we do decide to make this recipe, we'll have to farm the Cragboars in Dunmoreau. Now, they're low level, but that's the only way to do it. It's just for the farming purposes. So if I do decide to make that recipe, maybe I'll just do it off camera. I'll just, like, farm off camera the boars. Because we're not going to get Cragboar ribs off of these guys, or even the boars in Westfall. We have to go for the Cragboars in Dunmoreau. That's the only way we're going to be able to make that recipe.
A hero has
Unless,
fallen.
of course, we buy the Cragboar ribs off the auction house, which I really don't want to do. I'd rather farm them myself, because they're not that hard to come by, quite honestly. I don't know what this quest is going to entail. It's probably going to be a little dangerous, but we'll give it a go. We'll try at least. We got plenty of ammo, so we're good in that department. At some point, I could use myself a new gun. As a matter of fact, maybe I should have checked the auction house to begin with for a new gun, because we've had this one for... Sheesh, man. You know what? I'm gonna go back. Let's take a trip to the auction house, and let's see if we can find ourselves a better gun that's not gonna cost us an arm and a leg. We'll do that. Which means we might not be able to have enough for training at some point, but that's the price we pay in this game. It's all in the name of science, folks. All in the name of science. This would also really help if I had my Hearthstone set to a city. That way I could just go right there and then. But I'm not flying all the way to Stormwood. I'll fly to Ironforge, because that's where we're closest to. Just wait till we get Aspect of the Cheetah. We'll be able to run so much faster. It's sort of like a mini mount, if you will. The only problem is, if you get hit while you have Aspect of the Cheetah on, you'll be stunned, and your speed will slow down. Your movement will be decreased, is what I'm trying to tell you. That's something you gotta keep in mind. I don't know when we get that. I think it's level 20 that we get that spell. Assuming we make it that far. Now, I know I shouldn't think like that. I should be thinking to myself, oh, we're gonna make it to level 20. We'll be just fine. If other people can do it, I can do it. Like I said before in episodes past, my record for Alliance characters is 18. I have never made it past level 18 on an Alliance character. And I've never even done an Alliance dungeon with an Alliance character. I've done one with a Horde character, but not an Alliance character. Context for that. There's a dungeon in Westfall called Dead Mines, or sometimes people call it VC, because the main boss in that dungeon, his name is Van Cleef. Edwin Van Cleef. So some people call it VC, some people call it Dead Mines. But if you call it just DM, it could mean Dead Mines or Dire Maul, which is another dungeon in and itself. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so Dead Mines is for the Alliance, but the Horde can do it too. But there's a tricky way of doing so. I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can to you, and maybe you might understand it, but you might not, and if you don't, it's fine. One of these days, if we play a Horde character and we get to that part, I'll show you. So, for the Horde, they can easily access that dungeon too, but it takes a little bit of work. So, the Horde has a transportation system called the Zeppelin, and that will take you from one continent to another. So it'll take you from the Eastern Kingdoms to Kalimdor. Kalimdor is the continent where you'll find like the Night Elves, the Orcs, the Trolls, etc. So there's a Zeppelin you can take from either a city called Orgrimmar or a city called Undercity, which is home to the Orcs and the Forsaken, respectively. And you can come across a zone called Stranglethorn Vale. Now that's for level 30s, level 40s. It's a very, very dangerous zone. And there's also a lot of elite mobs as well. So what you do is you take the Zeppelin to a place called Grom Gall. And right as soon as the screen transitions, you're supposed to jump off of the Zeppelin and into the water. But you have to be careful because there's a little island there, and if you hit the island, you're dead. You also gotta watch out for any creatures that are swimming in the water. Because if you're... The Dead Mines dungeon is for level 18 to 24, I think. So, high-level mobs like that, they're gonna take you out in one hit and you're dead. And you don't want that. So what you do is you can swim through the zone, because there's not too many creatures in the water that are close by. And if you keep swimming, you'll eventually get into Westfall. And then, if you know the way, you can just make your way right to the dungeon, and there you go. I know that wasn't very helpful in explaining it in words, but if you play an actual horror character, you'll know what I'm talking about. And there's videos on YouTube about how to do this anyway, as well. Now, let's look at the guns. And let's see if we can find one that's affordable and one that we can use. Oh, here's one. This is for level 14. Wait, is there any others? Oh, here's some. Dang, that's a lot of money. This is gonna wipe out all my silver. No. I'll go for this. 7.5 damage per second. Requires level 14. It's not that much money. If I had more money, I would say go for the other one, but no, that ain't gonna do me any good. It's gonna wipe out all my money, and I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. Because we need to replace our gun. There's no question about it. The quests are going to start getting harder, and we need a better gun. So, there you go. That should do just fine now. I guess we go back. Lots of running around in this game. I'll tell you that much. Incidentally, should we look and see what training we need? Should we do that? Because I think our pet's going to need some training at this point. And thankfully the hunter trainers are down this way. And I think the pet trainer's probably in there too, so let's have a look-see, shall we? We'll get to questing, don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get to it. But you have to understand with this game, there's a lot of running around. God. If video game characters were real-life people, they'd be exhausted. You know, all this running around and questing and running back and forth between cities and towns. It's like, wow. I wouldn't want to be a character in this game. I really, really wouldn't. Alright. I'm not getting those. We do need this. And we do need this. And I think that's all we can get for now. Yes, it is. Okay. The traps are definitely going to come in handy. Mongoose bite. That might come in handy for melee. Pet training. Let's take a look and see what we can get for the pet. Nothing.
Be good.
Okay, because my pet's not of the level yet. Okay, so we got everything we can get now for training-wise. What level is my pet, anyway? 17. Okay. So he needs to get to one more level to get more training. He has to be at least level 18 for training. And he's not close to... looks like he leveled in the last episode, it looks like. As far as I can tell. We're gonna need some better... we're gonna need some more, better armor soon, too.
What can I do?
Hoping we come across some better stuff with quests or from random mobs that might drop armor. Oh, man. So let's fly back and let's now get back to questing. I don't want this whole episode just to be me running around doing random stuff. If I get past level 18, I'll be happy. And if I die then, I really don't care, because I made it. I wonder if there's anybody online in the guild. There's only one person. There's only one person online. Yeah, I left the previous guild because they just rubbed me the wrong way. And this guild seems like it's pretty much dead right now. There's like nobody online. Unless they all died, which that possibly could happen. You know, there's another point too. If you die and if you're the leader of your guild, you have to pass on leadership to somebody else. It's like when the president dies, the vice president usually takes over responsibilities. Or if something happens to the president, not necessarily dies, but if something happens to him. Okay, so we're back. Back in Lock Modan. Now let's go back and try to do that quest. Oh, actually, before we do that, we have to go this way to turn in the, Trog quest. We gotta do that first. Maybe there's a good reward. We're probably just gonna get some silver. Probably. The one thing I do like is that if you hit max level, any quests you do at that point, you don't get any experience for them, but you do get money for all quests. Which, that's really a good deal, in my opinion. It's what happened before Burning Crusade anniversary hit. My character got to level 60, and then I was just making money off of all the quests without getting experience points. But of course, by that point, leveling takes forever. Ooh, someone's doing the elites. Should we try again for Chalk Soul? What do you think? What the heck?
A hero has fallen.
Let's see if someone's doing that quest. Because I need it too.
How are you?
Oh, we got silver and we got some potions. Okay. Oh, there's another quest inside. Another part of the chain.
Great to meet you.
Okay, Shaman and Bone Snappers. Okay, I know where those are. So, remember that island we were on last episode? There's some there. Okay. So we could go back there and do that quest whenever we're ready. The Shaman are a pain in the butt to kill. And you saw that in the last episode, didn't you? Okay, so we got ourselves a group here. We got a 24 Rogue and a 21 Pally. Cool, cool. So, I guess we'll just head that way, I suppose. So while we're running, uh, first of all, I need to put this on really quick. Sorry, I had to readjust myself here. I bet you didn't know that if you press the numlock key on your keyboard, your character will run automatically by itself. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk video games while we're running around here, while we're running to our destination. Do you remember the last episode or previous one before that I was talking about the Rugrats Retro Collection on Switch and PS5? So I decided to buy it. It was only like 20 bucks on the eShop for the Switch. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of happy about it. I'm willing to try all of the games that are in the collection, but the one I've been playing the most was Studio Tour. I have so many fond memories of that game. So many fond memories. And it just brings back so much nostalgia for me. But again, like I mentioned, I have Studio Tour, and I even have Search for Reptar in physical copy on my PlayStation. I have physical copies of them. So I could just play that game anytime I want. But sometimes I just don't want to pull out the PlayStation to do that, or my PS2 in this case. I have a PlayStation, but I don't use it very much. I use my PS2 for everything. So it's actually not that bad. I mean, the graphics kind of look a little bit better, but they still look the same as they did when each game premiered on its original console. The coolest part is, which is pretty uh, uh, um, routine for these types of collections, you can see the manuals for the original games, but the problem is they changed it up. So you can't see what console it's from, but you can tell. You can tell. And some of the menu options for Rugrats Studio Tour and Search for Reptar are a lot different than when they were on the PlayStation. The controller settings is gone, and there's other stuff that is missing from this version because it doesn't apply. But I wanted to mention briefly, too, that there is another collection of games that is coming out later this year for PS4, PS5, Switch, Switch 2, and I think Xbox, I think? So I'm sure you've been paying attention, but there's a 5th Toy Story movie that's getting made, and it's coming out in June. It's actually coming out this month. Can you believe it? Because right now we're in June. Can you believe it's coming out? So crazy. I know I'm going to go see it. So there's a collection of games that is being released of classic Toy Story games. And I'm talking the Game Boy Color games, the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo ones. They're even releasing in this collection 2 of my favorite PS1 titles. Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, and Toy Story Racer are going to be put into this collection. I'm beyond excited for that. But again, I have both games in physical copy. And for some reason, they're also including A Bug's Life, which, that game is notoriously hard. And I'm not kidding you. it's notoriously hard. And also, they're releasing a remastered... They're releasing a port of Toy Story 3 for the newer generation consoles. Now that is going to be exciting. I can't wait for that. Although, Toy Story 3 wasn't my favorite game, I'll be honest. It wasn't really my favorite. I played it on the Wii a long time ago, and might have played the PS3 version, but maybe. I know I played the Wii version. It wasn't my favorite game, okay? I'm sure a lot of people like it, but it wasn't my favorite, personally. But, anyway, they're porting it to the newer generation consoles. So that's pretty exciting. So yeah, Toy Story fans are rejoicing for sure. So that's exciting. But I know what you're thinking. Oh, they need new ideas for video games. Blah, blah, blah. At the same time, though, you know, a lot of people have very fond memories of these games, you know? Like me, for example. The one thing I will say, though, is that the Toy Story game on Game Boy sucked. It was horrible, so I don't know why they're including it in this collection. Like, it was awful. If you want a good Toy Story game, play the Super Nintendo version or the Sega Genesis version. Or heck, even the PC version. But the PC version requires a joystick. Remember how some computer games back in the 90s required you to have a joystick? Well, this is one of them. This is a prime example. Yeah, the good old days of video games. I'm telling you. The good old days. So we're in a group right now. We're going for Chalk Soul, and a couple of the members here of the group are... They're doing the quest where you have to kill just the ogres. So this should be very interesting, to say the least. This should be a very interesting quest. Or rather, an interesting group. So, we'll see how it goes. There's 5 of us, so we shouldn't have any problem. Hopefully nobody ends up dying, like the last time. Last time, that was just god-awful. Sheesh. I'm telling you. So, say we just go ahead and we start killing them off. There's another hunter right here, but it's a night elf hunter. That worked out pretty good. This might be okay. Oh, yeah, I got you. There you go. Can I share this one with you? Yep. Yeah, I think you have to be at least level 17 or 18 to do the quest. Or at least to accept the quest. To do it, you need to be at least like 22. But if you got a group, you'll be fine. So, we shall see how this goes. I need to make myself a little more comfortable here. Oh. Good God. Okay. Here's the rest of the group. Alright, let's do this. This is, like, absolutely perfect. Like, this is the ideal situation that you want. This is perfect. I don't mind, unfortunately. Look at us making things happen. This is great. So what we got? We got a paladin, we got a rogue, we got a hunter, and we got another paladin. Oh. We also got another ogre that just came out to play. Oh, someone just leveled. Cool. Oh. I was in the wrong chat. Oops. Alright. So far, so good. Let's give our pet a heal here. Very good. I guess we're walking around here and we're just killing the guys on the outside first. Because these guys need that quest that we already did, the Mercenaries quest. So wait, are we doing the Chalk Soul quest, or are we doing the Mercenaries quest? Let's see. Wait for that guy to go. Guess we're going for that one over here.
A hero has fallen.
Uh-oh. Trouble. How did that miss? Okay, get back in there. You're not done, Piggy Woogums. You're not done yet. You still got a job to do. Ugh. Yikes. Okay, let's start you in. Yeah, we're gonna be just fine. We're gonna be just fine. You get in there. Let's see.
Too far away.
This way. Wow, this is working out really good. We are crushing it.
I need to get
Get a potion. Oh, did somebody else level? Nice. Cloth. We'll agreed on that. If I don't do much talking here, folks, I'm just like really focusing on the game. Now, how do we want to do this? There we go. See, this quest was so much easier in Wrath of the Lich King.
A hero has fallen.
Oh, my pet died. We did kill him, though.
inventory is
Oh, my bags are full. Alright, you know what? I'm getting rid of this. There we go. Now I gotta revive my pet here. Now, we gotta get out of this cave. Okay. Let's go over here really quick. And we're gonna feed our pet. I'm not gonna give you spider ichor. Give you some boar ribs. We'll feed you your kind. Did that even work? There we go. Cool. I didn't even realize my pet died. But this group is working together so great. This is fantastic. I like this. I can get down with this. How did I miss? Come on, be real. I guess they're finished. Uh-oh.
A hero has fallen.
There we go. Oh, my pet died. Shoot. I need to get out of here. Phew. That was close. Now, once again, I gotta feed him. I thought the group was behind me at the time. I guess they weren't. No, we did... Oh, shoot. Just keep... Oh, crap. Not again. You know what? I'm running. Now I got a bear chasing me. Boy, this isn't looking good for my pet, is it? Things are not looking good at all. I gotta feed him again. Okay. Now, let's get back to this quest right here. Let's go back to this. Some of these guys here that we need we can kill, so let's do it now. Sure, I'll group with you. Why not? Another friend. I like that. It's a priest. Oh, look, he's doing the exact same quest. How you like that? So look at this, more help. I love this. This is great. This is just splendiferous. So we should be done with this quest in no time. And hopefully soon, too, because I gotta wrap up this episode. Because I got something I gotta take care of after this. Alright, let's see. Here's another bone snapper over here. So this one we have to kill 10 bone snappers and 10 shaman. Am I eligible for that one? Thank you.
Inventory is full.
Bags are full. Get rid of these. Gotta love when your bags are full. Just gotta love that. I probably should have sold some stuff. I have so much cloth it's not even funny. I suppose I could use it to make some more bandages. Let's see. Awesome. Okay. Works for me. for this one here. Uh-oh.
A hero has
Trouble.
fallen. A hero has fallen.
Look at that.
I can't carry anymore.
A hero has fallen.
Is there something over here we need? A hammer of some kind? Oh, here we go.
Inventory is full.
There we go. Got the hammer. Now, let's go over here. We were actually a couple kills away from level 18. That's our record. Can't do anything with the mace.
Can't carry anymore.
Can't even loot it.
Inventory is full.
Oh, there's another thing over here, a wrench that we have to get. Well, there's a lot of stuff we gotta collect, don't we?
A hero has fallen.
Oh. Let's see. Let's get rid of those stack of bandages. Screwdriver.
Can't carry anymore.
Now, the wrench is down this way. And we still need 4 more shaman. I guess we'll go down this way first for the wrench, and then we'll see about the shaman. There's the level 18.
Inventory is full.
here's the tool bucket. Let's get rid of this. Got the wrench now. Now, we still got some more shaman to go kill. So let's do that. And I think after that, we should be ready to wrap up the episode.
Inventory is full.
I don't know if there's another part of this chain. Hopefully not. Alright, one more to go.
Can't carry anymore.
Yeah, for that priest, it would have been a lot dangerous doing that quest. At least having me to help was definitely beneficial, for sure. Yeah, sorry I didn't do a lot of talking there. I was just really, like, focused in on that
hero has
quest.
fallen.
There's gonna be some quests where I'm just gonna be so focused. Okay. And we do have some stuff that we need to sell as well. Gonna clear our bags out a little bit. And again, I think this is going to be the end of the episode, because we've been going for quite some time, and I got something I gotta take care of. So, let's go back to town, let's turn in the quests, sell some stuff, and then we will get out of here. This has been a very exciting episode. I don't know about you guys, but this has been very exciting. Alright, so... let's waltz over here and sell a few things. Those. Sell that gun. You know, we fired so many rounds, we're gonna need some more ammo.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Let's go and turn in this one.
What can I do for you? Safe travels.
Cloth boots. Figures. We do get a ring, though.
Watch your back.
Intellect and spirit. That'll do us a little bit of good. It's our first ring. Now let's go take a walk down here really quick, and let's turn in the the Trog quest that we just did. This one, we have to go all the way over here across the lock. That's where Bingles is located. Oh, goodness gracious. Boy, playing this game for a long time sure can make you exhausted. But I can't be too tired, because I got stuff I gotta take care of once I stop the recording. I will say, though, that for the next episode, we are going to stay in Loch Modan, and we are going to do the Filthy Paws quest. I know I originally was going to do it at the beginning of the episode, but then things changed. I went to go get a new gun, and I went to do the Chalk Soul quest. And honestly, before the next episode, I might actually go into Dunmoreau and just farm some Cragboar ribs so I can make the beer-based boar ribs. Just to get my cooking skill up a little bit.
A hero has fallen.
So perhaps I'll do that. Maybe. And before we go, let's just go turn this in. I don't know if there's going to be another part after this, of this quest. Yes, there is. There's another part. I guess we'll pick this up too. Why not? Oh, this is the one where you have to kill the Trog leader and his guards. Oh boy.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Well, we'll accept it, but we're not going to do it right away. What we are going to do is we're going to say goodbye. I'm going to hearth back to Westfall. But we are going to say goodbye right now. Thank you for joining me for this episode. I really appreciate it. Next time, we'll do some more questing, and hopefully we'll get ourselves past level 18. I really, really hope we can do it. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, do whatever it is you need to do to ensure that you don't miss any new episodes. And we will see you next time. So, take care everyone. Stay safe.